Hello YouTube, we're updating the build guide video with the latest build for both bow staff and staff dagger. So I've finished mostly building my bow skills and I have started leveling up my dagger skills and weapon. So starting off with bow and staff, we are going to have range hit chance of 942. I could probably boost this to another 200 later on, but I would still have to mess around with stats. I still have both my Tublix quarterstaff, but I did swap over to Staff of the Umbermancer for this specific DPS PvE and PvP build because I do like having the heavy attack chance, and I did mention that I was going for a very high perception later on. So this is kind of like a little bit of an all-rounder. We got the 50, 35 dex, maybe we could hit 40 later, and then the 60 perception. I don't think we can hit 70 perception, but it would be nice later on. So let's go over our items and weapons. Starting with the weapons, we have the Umbra staff with max health, and then we have the Tublix Death Mark bow, and then we have, I think we do have max health on most of our pieces, and magic and range evasion. We're focused on that. So looking at over the traits of each items, here you go. And then for the belts, we have this one. This belt is from a weekly or from a newly unlocked world boss that we got today, which is the Aridus and Nirma. One of them drops it, I think. And then for the Eldritch Iceband, you can probably replace this with the universal +3 to all stats ring, which will help you build your stats better if you would like that for the end game. I think the only thing I would probably replace with this build right now is probably the ring with the +3 to all stats. And then we'll see where the stats take me from there, because every stats does matter for this build. So we have 1300 magic evasion, range evasion, and no melee evasion. So we would have to play this very careful. This is not a build I would play in arena, or maybe it is if there's like on 3-on-3s, because on 3-on-3s you could have someone peel for you, but there's usually a magic DPS or staff dagger or bow dagger. Bow dagger and staff dagger is kind of meta right now in arena. Alright, moving on to the skills for longbow and staff. We have this for longbow mastery, and then staff mastery we went down this tree. And then for the skills, you can just copy the skills that we have so far over here. And then skill specialization, we have this one for the bow, and we have this for the staff. The mastery for our war setup is going to be the same weapon mastery, so you don't need to change it up from the PvE version. This one I would only use for large scale wars or medium scale wars in the open world. And then for skill specialization, we went down this tree real quick. And that should be it for the latest updated longbow staff build. Right now I have gone through, my favorite one is staff dagger lately. I use this a lot for large scale wars and small scale wars. We have 18k HP using this build. We have 917 accuracy using the same build. We have like a lot of health. We have a lot of survivability. I do want to push for 60 strike later, which might push us close to 19 to 20k HP as a staff dagger user. Here's the items I'm using for this one. Almost the same items that I was using in my previous build. So if you do want to transition or have a staff dagger build, you could also use that. The thing I did change is using this Glade Stalker boots, which is really huge. It's a blue item. It adds lots of HP. It adds a decent amount of hit chance and all that stuff, because we're not going to have the extra hit chance from our bow. But if you go bow, you can actually make bow dagger build also work with this build. So if you want to go bow dagger, you can also. You will have actually probably a lot more hit chance with your bow dagger using this build. Anyway, so that's that for our items. Pretty much the same again, as I would say. It's just like most of it's like reallocating stats into things. And then, oh yeah, For the ring, I would also probably, my end game would probably be to level up another ring, probably the universal power ring for the +3 to all stats, and then mess around and reallocate points again for, you know, the extra stat sticks. I don't know what else I would replace in here other than maybe a body piece. The Reaper body piece might be very cheap to get. I would lose the weaken chance, which I really need. Weaken chance, because we are using weaken chance. Once the Queen Staff is out, you want lots of weaken chance, but I would lose magic evasion. The thing with this build is we have 1300 all these range, but we could increase this if we press our C skill and a movement skill. We could reach 2.3 and 2000 range evasion. Our hit chance we won't even be able to hit ourselves with this, with our 1300 hit chance, because we can just keep refreshing this. So every time you use a movement skill with this build, you would get increased evasion, right? So let me use my Z skill. Boom. I get 630 evasion to magic and range. And then if I use a roll, it refreshes again. So you would stack your victorious energy, which gives you a lot of evasion, and then you would use a movement skill or a guarding skill to give you more evasion. And then you have your panic button, so in case all your cooldowns are not up and you get dive bombed by a crossbow user, you can just press boom, panic button, and then you could like dodge attacks, and then that gave you time to readjust your buffs or blink out of stuff. So this is a build I would actually use in small scale and arenas mostly. I do like having this very much high HP, 80k HP, keeps me up alive in most certain fights. And for the skills, we are using this one. You could copy and paste this one. You can also swap in echoic barrier for this one, but I do like having this one. I need to level up my skills. I haven't leveled up my skills. This swap was very cheap, as you can see. All my skills are still green. I only use a certain amount of dagger skills for this build. I may need to experiment with it later, but you know what? This is what we're going for right now, and this is what's working for us. And here are our skill specializations. Not too much on skill specialization. Most of it is going in staff skills, because that is where our powerhouse is going to be. I'm planning on using the Queen Bellendir staff with this build, which will we will lose a lot of strength, and that's might mess us up more. But hopefully, with the Universal Ring of Power, it'll get us back up to 50 strength, because Queen Bellendir staff gives us wisdom. So I wanted to make this guide before the Queen Bellendir my next build comes out for Queen Bellendir. We're still squishy in melee. I think I would still use this build in fixed 3 versus 3 comps though, because it's a very nice build. Pretty much you evade all the flash waves and all that stuff. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I showed you guys my skills. I showed you guys all the items and traits. I showed you guys the daggers, staff masteries, dagger mastery. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can copy all the passives here very easily. I showed you guys how to do the... Oh, well, there's a secret tech also. My friend taught me this. If you do this one, you see, like, now you're casting it. If you cast a skill, you get 630 magic evasion. But you just keep cancel it. You'll forever have 630 all evasion, range and magic evasion permanently. As long as you don't let the skill go off. Oh, it went off, but we still have 2 charges, right? So kind of ridiculous. I don't know if this is gonna get nerfed. I don't use it too much, but it might be a useful thing to use later on, right? So that's one thing to keep in mind if you want to have if you want to cheese your... If you would like to cheese your super evasion, range magic evasion during fights. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this guide update video. I hope you guys found it useful. If you liked the video with my latest builds with both Staff and Staff Dagger, please make sure to like and subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. Maybe a Queen Bellendir update. Surely, maybe I'll get it. I don't know. My guild, I've been saving up for it, but my guild's a bunch of juicers when it comes to Lucent. And Shroudy Rowdy might go for my staff, so we'll see. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.